Going from high plank down to plank 5 times on each side. Inhaling down, exhaling up, engaging the core. Moving slowly. Dropping down to the knees, sliding the hands underneath the shoulders. I'm going to pick up our knees, their legs, shins about 2 inches off, and really engaging the lower core. And holding for a cycle of about 4 breaths. Really use that low core, low abdominals, and then straighten the legs to downward facing dog for a cycle of 4 breaths. We'll do this one more time, hovering a few inches above the mat, about 4 cycles. Pushing back into downward facing dog. 4 breaths here. And stretching out the legs, softening the belly. Now we're going to take our right leg, take the right leg up towards the ceiling, and then bring the right knee to the right tricep. And if you can touch, perfect. If not, just get as close as you can. And then bring that right knee across the body and touch the left tricep. Again, trying to make connection if you're able to. And then bring the knee right to the nose. We're really hollowing out the belly. Lifting back on the inhale. Exhaling, knee to tricep, and then knee to nose. One more time. And then hold. Lift that heel towards the glute, and then reach the foot back. Place that right foot down, and we'll do the left side. Left leg up, left leg to left tricep. To right tricep. To nose. One more time. And hold, and lift that heel close to the glute, rounding the back. Sweep the foot back, set that foot down. Take a few minutes here. You can drop to a child's pose if that's something you need, if you need a little bit of a break. Catching your breath. And then when you're ready, you can stay as long as you want, or you can come back and join us. Coming into plank. And then we're going to take the hand right underneath the left shoulder, feet together. Drop the outside of the left foot up, coming into a side plank. Lowering the hip down, coming back up. And then we're going to take the right knee to the right armpit. You can leave your hand here at the hips. You can place your hand behind your head. Whatever works for you. Dipping down, back up, knee to elbow. 3 times on each side. That was 3, so come back into plank, and we'll take the left hand, or the right hand, underneath the shoulder, outside of the right foot, And dipping down, lifting up, and then bringing that knee up towards the armpit. Using the obliques. Last time. And then come back down into plank. We're going to sweep the feet. Coming around to our bottoms. We're going to come into plank. There's a lot of different variations for depending on what level you're on. So one of the ways that we can come into a boat pose is to have the hands behind, fingertips facing the hips, and you can pull the knees towards the chest. So that's one way to engage the core. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. Or if you feel like you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can bring those legs straight. And then again, if you want a little bit more, you can bring the hands out. So whatever works for you. Holding for 5 breaths. And then we're hovering down, maybe 2 inches from the mat. And lift back up. And down. And back up. And one more time. Crossing at the ankles. And then we're going to take, if you have a black handy, we're going to take a block and place it between our thighs. We're going to come down onto our backs, heels pressing up towards the ceiling. Take that block right between the thighs and you just squeeze the block. And then take your palms on the thighs and press the palms into the thighs and press the thighs into the palms and then bring the shoulders up. Really engage that core. Squeezing, lifting, pushing the palms in. You won't feel this maybe for the first few seconds, but the harder you push, legs into the hands, and the hands into the thighs, you might start feeling it. Really push. And slowly come down. And drop the knees down to the right side. Back up. Drop the knees down to the other side. Maintaining that block. We'll do this again. Bring the legs back up towards the ceiling. Squeeze that block. Heels are flexed. Feet are flexed. Take the palms. Press it. Press, 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 press. And then bring those shoulders up. The more you press, the more you're going to feel this. Harder to press, the more of a challenge. And release that block. We'll do a couple yogi bicycles. Again, there are some options here. You just want to be careful that you're really not pulling on the neck because this can cause you some discomfort. So try as you can just to maybe have the thumbs close to the ears so that you're not squeezing the back of the head and pulling up. So you bring your feet down, we'll come up. We're going to take our right elbow to the left knee. You're going to come up, you're going to really try to get that chest off, pulling the shoulders as far as you can towards the opposite side. Really rotating, pulling the shoulders up. We'll do 10 of these. It's 5 more. Two more. And good. Hugging the knees to the chest. Rocking back and forth. A nice core workout. You can grab the back of your thighs if you want to rock to seated. And then if you have 2 blocks, we're going to use them, placing them by our hips. This is a bit of a modification. If you can do this without using the blocks, you can just press your palms in and lift. That's one way to do it. Or I'm using blocks today, get a little bit higher lift. Again, there's some modifications here. So if you have really tight hips and this is just a lot for you to sit like this, it's perfectly fine to stay with easy cross leg. If you're able to come into a lotus or even a half lotus, you can stay there. So whatever works for you and your body. Place these blocks by your hips, press the palms in. You're going to press really hard into the blocks, so using the palms, and then engage the core and pull the knees and the bottom off. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. And then gently place yourself down. Take a breath here. Readjust yourself. You can switch legs if that feels good to you. Maybe this side might be a little bit different. So a lotus side for me on this side is a little bit trickier. Again, we're going to do this a few more times. So press into the blocks and lift, holding for 5 breaths. And gently come down. You can unpretzel yourself and switch sides again, or if you were in easy cross leg, maybe taking the opposite foot over. And if that's where you are, if you are having easy cross leg, it's a little bit harder to get the feet up, so the modification might look a little bit differently. You might have some problems getting the feet off. And it's okay if you're new to yoga and this is a bit of a challenge for you to even lift. It's okay to even just lift here and then try to pull the knees in towards the chest. 5 breaths and then come down. So go to your own level and do what is available to you today in your body. If you're feeling tired or this is a lot for you, coming up 5 times, just listen to your body and do the best that you can. Take a break when you need to. But if you're ready, we have 3 more, or 2 more of these. So try to do this together. Placing the palms in, and again, pressing into the blocks and lifting. Down. Again, if you want to switch your feet, you can. Or you can stay right like you are. And if you wanted to maybe see where you are and place the palms beside and see if you can lift that way, maybe you're ready. So we're going to inhale, press into the mat and lift. And gently place yourself down. And release that. And take your blocks, place your blocks to the side. And we're going to come back into our plank. So there are 2 planks. Regular plank is just shoulders down. Your gaze out, trying not to sag your back. Trying not to have the hips too far out. So I'm just trying to find a nice alignment where you really feel that your core is engaged. And then there's a high plank coming up. Again, finding nice alignment. We're going to take our right elbow to right tricep and then slide it down to the wrist and then back up and place it down. Left tricep, slide it down to the wrist, back up, and come back down. Holding high plank. And drop to the knees. Big toes together, widen the knees, and drop back into child's pose. forehead to mat. You can bring your hands around, just giving yourself a little hug. Maybe taking the hands to the back of the heels. You have a block there, so if that's a bit of a challenge for you, to kind of drop the torso down, perfectly fine to go where your body can go and place the block underneath the forehead and just rest here for a second. Nice stretch in the psoas muscles. And then we're just going to come up for some plain old sit-ups with a couple Russian twists. So I'll sweep back around. We're going to round the back. We're going to come down one vertebra at a time. We're going to try to keep our feet nice and grounded in the mat. If they come up, that's fine. We're just doing the best that we can. Coming down. And place the hands behind the head. Again, try not to pull. And we're going to do a couple just regular sit-ups from here. So if it's better for you to bring the hands above the head so that you're not pulling, you can do this. And here's the thing, the tricky part with this is that we're coming all the way up. We're going to tap our feet or the mat behind and then all the way back down. So just do the best you can. If you're only able to come here and come back down, that's okay too. But if you're able to come all the way up, let's do this with a little bit of intensity. You don't want to go so slow that we're not really feeling the workout. So let's do about 10 just regular sit-ups. And ground into the feet. And one more. Good. And now we're going to do Russian twist. So again, there's some variations here. You can have your feet grounded. For a little bit more of a modification, you come down and around to the back. You're just going to take your wrist and you're going to tap one side to the other. We'll tap 5 times on each. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you're going to bring those feet up. Just doing what is available to you. Do more on each side. And hug those knees in, place the feet down, and again, very slowly coming down. Hug the knees to the chest. Do a couple more variations of sit-ups. Let's bring our hands up, and at the same time, we're going to bring our feet up. So I find that I like to interlace the thumbs. I don't know if it's just more support, making it more of a modification, but it just works for me. It might be a mental thing, I'm not for sure. But let's go ahead and do 10 of these coming up. And again, if you need to modify and have the knees bent, that's perfectly fine. If you're able to come up with straight legs, that's great. But if you need to bend, that's okay. That's 5, I think. If you even want more of a challenge, instead of allowing your heels to drop, you can you can lift the heels about 2 inches off. So let's try that for the last 3. Let's slide the heels up. Give those knees a hug. You can drop both knees down to the right side. And now that you've had a nice core workout for the day. Just stretching out. Pressing at the ankles. You can come up to seated and finish your yoga